Okay, so after all the nice comments about banks, here I come, I'm the bank. So I have, I think, a tough job making you like banks a bit more. So let me try let me start by asking a question. How long do you think we need to reach gender equality on the planet starting from today? Any idea? I hope it will. Now, who thinks that it's going to take between 0 and 100 years? Show me hands. Nobody. What? Okay. Who thinks that it's going to take between 0 and 100 years to reach gender equality on the planet? I have a few hands. Who thinks that it's going to be between 100 and 200 years? Who thinks that it's going to be more than 200 years? Okay. Actually, I have bad news because the World Economic Forum has estimated last year that it's going to take 170 years to reach gender equality at the current pace. Okay. I have worse news. This year, they have reviewed their figures, and they've estimated that it's going to take 214 years to reach gender equality.
But it has to start somewhere.
It has to start somewhere. And indeed, today, every year, the global economy is losing $28 trillion by not having gender equality. We have so many studies proving again and again that whenever we have more women in companies and in boards, they do better. And this is across all fields. This is why, actually, BLC Bank has decided in 2012 to launch a gender program we call the We Initiative, and it is a women economic empowerment program. So let me give you two words about the program. It has an internal component and an external component. Why internal? Because we thought that it was not possible actually to launch a program for clients if we were not convinced to do it for ourselves and our internal employees. So we initiated a full cultural change, starting by the mission and the vision, where we introduced the gender component, down to all levels, including the procedures. Even in our procurements, we try to procure with women. When we have women that go to maternity leave, they have 70 days by law. However, in BLC Bank, they have 2 additional months of part-time job, fully paid, to transition more smoothly. We were the first bank to introduce, the first company, I think, in Lebanon, to introduce a 3-day paternity leave.
Now it's the law.
Now it's the law. We've done it before the law, so we should do better now. The result is that we have today 52% of women employees in the bank and 42% of women in management in the bank. And this is a good score, and we'll show you a bit more figures later. So let me move now to the external program. So here we have 2 pillars. One is the financial pillar, and the other one is the non-financial pillar. We just discussed today in the previous panel the challenges of entrepreneurs across the world, in a fast-moving world today with disruptions. Imagine a Lebanese entrepreneur. It's much tougher. It's another layer of challenges because we have, our economic and political problems. Now imagine a Lebanese woman entrepreneur. MENA ranks last in gender equality. And we discovered when we wanted to launch our program that the challenges that women faced had to be tackled if we wanted to effectively serve these women. So what type of challenges do they face? First, legal. How does this affect their access to finance? In Lebanon, personal status laws still provide for more inheritance for boys versus girls. Our girls still inherit less, and we know that owning less assets is a problem when you want to access finance to a bank. Second example I want to give you is, until today, women cannot open an account for their minor children. It has to be the father. Even if the mother is making the money, it is depositing the money, it has to be the father who opens the account. So we tackled the financial aspect by trying to solve these issues. We have launched a collateral-free loan that women can benefit from, and we have put in place envelopes that cover risk so that they can access finance more effectively. For the mother's issue, we have launched the mother's account, and we could do this based on a fiduciary law, which provided a window to allow women to do that. I will not really give you details about all our products. I will bore you, so I will stop here. This was to illustrate how we treated the financial aspect. I will move now to the non-financial aspect. We discussed a lot the burden on women because they have to deal with housework, care for children, care for the elderly, and they have to go to work. And this is across all countries. Now in Lebanon, it's much more, in our region, it's much more, but it's across the world. So this has a direct impact on their ability to grow their businesses. Because we know that for an entrepreneur to succeed, financing is not enough. And we discussed a lot of the other factors now. Some of them are networking, access to valuable advice, so mentoring, learning, and much more issues related to culture that I will tackle in a while. So this is why in our non-financial services, and this part of the program is non-money making, we have provided mentoring, training, networking opportunities, and access to expert advice. And we realized that it wasn't enough because of the cultural element that I have just discussed. Today, we think that women should be in HR, not in finance. We think that should be in arts, not in science, etc. And to really unleash the potential of women, we decided to really go after these preconceived ideas. We launched campaigns, one of which is She كتير مهم, she, the English pronoun, كتير مهم, to really try to change this perception. And we have launched the Brilliant Lebanese Awards in 2012. It's a banking award that really rewards achievements of women, of SMEs, and this year we have added a category for technology. We wanted to do that because we needed to really showcase women role models who have succeeded in the business world. I should say for my women in the front line in business. So this is what we wanted to do. Now, what was the result of this program? Well, it was very beneficial for the bank because it gave us, of course, a good image, but it was as well profitable. Now, we heard that women do not like to bank, but we realized that women are very good banking clients. They repay their debts much better than men. I'm sorry for the men in the room, but this is a fact. They like to save money, so they are very good banking clients. And we were very happy, actually, to launch the program. Now, on the local level, we realized that it has had an impact as well on, putting on the table the discussion about gender equality. When we launched in 2012, this wasn't really a daily subject in Lebanon. It was a very daring and bold move back then to launch WE initiative. And today we see so many initiatives discussing women in Lebanon. But it has had as well an international impact. We have received awards from across the world. We are now subject of 4 case studies, one from the American University of Beirut, another one from the World Bank, from Oxford Al Said Business School, and from the Global Banking Alliance for Women. What is the Global Banking Alliance for Women? It's a New York-based NGO that gathers banks from across the world who have in common one thing. They develop a women economic program and they share their best practices. We joined this organization in 2012. And in 2015, I have been elected the chair of this organization, and I'm still the chair today. Thank you. The GBA covers 120 countries, and we have so far reached more than 20 million women across the world. And BLC Bank has had a great input in this because we have hosted study tours to share our best practices, More than 65 institutions across the world got inspired from the We Initiative and have launched, in a way or another, a program back home. Having said all this, we are as well part of a leadership group in the UN, not to forget. Having said this, let me share with you a very short movie, a 1 minute and 30 movie, that will give you some more insights. Can we please play the movie? I will end with a thought. This is what BLC Bank has been doing for 6 years now. And we're not going to stop here because, as we mentioned, the gap is still there. It is huge. But alone, we will not really reach the goal. I think that each one here in the room, while stepping out from this door, should commit to do one action, however tiny it is. It can be to educate your daughters to pursue their professional dreams. It can be to present yourself to elections. It can be to have more women on the board or to work with women suppliers. It can be to cast your vote, your preferential vote, to a woman in the next election. But please,
We have to start by having candidates.
exactly, this is, so please, engage, commit. A tiny action can make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you.